and welcome back to Critical Rocket. Today we're going to be looking again at War of the Vikings, a much longer look than I did on my previous video, playing as the Skirmisher class on conquest mode. This map is a nice little idyllic sort of village, seaside village, probably in somewhere like northern England. Yeah, running as the Skirmisher, who's going to be the range class of the game, where the other two classes are almost entirely melee focused. This class is specifically all about providing ranged fire support, and they can be really deadly if used in the right hands. I've got a few perks here on my class, namely fire arrows, which will ignite enemy shields, and you'll see how deadly they are in a second. Oh, there we go. One shot, one kill, straight in the head. More often than not, that'll drop anybody, doesn't matter what class they are. This is the respawn screen, so you're sort of in a sort of hazy limbo while you wait around to respawn. All of different servers, different timers. It allows you on one hand to see what's going on around you, but it also kind of allows you to cheat, because while you're standing around waiting, the other players who are alive obviously don't know where you are, so you can spawn and get like a cheeky backstab, or in the case of my class I can fire and immediately get a killing blow. You may have just seen that man there who was sort of moving his hands around me, so kind of like he was laying on hands for healing. Teammates, if you allow them, can heal you much more rapidly than you can yourself. Holding down B by default will slowly heal you back to maximum health, but if you allow another player to do it, it's 3 seconds instead of 6. One of the other perks that I've got outside of the fire arrows is a spotter perk, which is one of the fastest ways to generate XP with this class. When you fire, even if you don't hit, if it's close enough, they'll highlight the target in red, which allows everyone in your team to see them, and if they kill him, you get some XP. And it can be really, really useful for farming XP quickly with this class. There we go, pushing over. Skirmishers aren't completely useless in melee though. They can draw their own sword or axe, but obviously unlike the warriors, they can't use shields. And yeah, you don't have as much armor, you die a lot quicker. You may have also seen that I got minus XP. This is a mechanic I kind of like. If you, regardless of class, if you hit a teammate, they have some of their XP taken off them in the match. I don't know if you can de-level, but then if you're running around hitting your own team, I doubt you're going to be on the server for long anyway. Some people are just either going to TK you back or you're going to get kicked by admin. It's not recommended, but it's a nice feature. It certainly makes you consider your shots before you just decide to start flinging arrows into the melee. There's a guy there who I tried to revive, and he just keeps getting shot. Kind of like when you play Battlefield and you defib a guy and he gets shot again, and you defib him and he gets shot again, and they get kind of annoyed. So at the moment we're in a bit of a stalemate. We're trying to push onto the third point of the map for us, which would be the tavern, which is across this bridge. It's like any conquest mode. You stand near the point, the magic bar fills up, and then apparently you've captured it. I don't have to help as much with this. I'm more laying down fire support with this other player. Renown. Renown is granted for achieving certain things, long shots as you saw there, to also give bonus XP, killing a certain number of enemies, performing certain tasks during a course of several successive games will give you Renown, which gives you a gold bonus, an XP bonus, which gold is what you're really after in this game. The XP is neither here nor there, that just allows you to unlock extra swords and helmets and horns and stuff. Gold on the other hand is what actually allows you to buy all of these nice little customization options throughout the game. There's me bandaging, which as you can see was probably quite slow compared to how I was healed earlier by a teammate. I really like the graphics on this. I don't know what some of people's opinions are, but I think this looks really nice. This isn't even the settings on extreme as they launched with the game. This is as high as it went when it was in early access when I was playing it last, so I haven't had a chance to run it on the extreme. I just thought for the sake of frame rate with the recording, but I think the maps are really, really nicely detailed. There might be a few visual glitches here and there. Sometimes with the fire arrows, when you start running, you can see the fire sort of hovering off the model. Looks kind of strange. Other weird sort of visual glitches could be things where you got a guy with a javelin who's stuck through his neck, but he's still alive. It's more for the lols, I guess. They got a good shot there. Kill assists. That'll be another thing that'll give you XP. Damage assists, although not the same as kill assists, will give you slightly less. As far as I can tell, the quickest way of farming experience and leveling up is the Skirmisher class. It's very easy to play. You have infinite arrows, and the only thing you've got to keep an eye on is your stamina bar, which is the top bar. You can see it going down every time I fire, and if I wait a second or so, it fills back up. If you run out of stamina, you can't fire. It's the same with when you're fighting with melee weapons. If you keep swinging like a nutter, you can attack quicker, but you're not going to do as much damage. That's what this green, yellow and red bar is all about. When it's red, you're going to do the absolute max damage. When it's yellow, moderate, and when it's green, you're not going to do a lot. Now, I've seen this guy, he's running around, but I completely failed to see him just walk up on me, and then I panic, and I fail to I think I hit this log, I try to get smart, and yeah, he just drops me. When you get killed, well, you get knocked down, as it says, which puts you into a res state. I think it's the champion class have an ability that allows them to resurrect themselves, basically. If you don't finish them off, they will get up. Now, as I was saying with the cheating thing, with being able to respawn and see him, he doesn't know where we're going to spawn. He runs across this bridge, tries to cap, and I immediately start firing on him. He gets swarmed, and he doesn't stand a chance. And he was a tactical player. He got round us. He got rid of the two archers, myself and the other guy who were there. He got to the point. In any other game, he should have the advantage, but because of the spawn system, he didn't stand a chance. Yeah, so we're sort of pushing up here, trying to get to the final point, which is up by the sort of longhouse. It's up there. Well, longhouse meeting hall, and not quite sure, it could be a church, you know, in the Saxons. As you can see, the spotter perk is useful because even though I missed him, I can see him, and you can sort of see his red outline even through buildings. I'm not sure whether that will be toned down. It wouldn't be surprised if they do tone it down a bit once you break line of sight. It should probably get rid of the red outline because it does allow your team to pretty much wall hack. And it's another example of me getting too close. Spears, tough weapon, but if used correctly, they can be very deadly. You see this guy, he's trying to finish him off there, and then I get rezzed. Being rezzed isn't quick, takes about 4 seconds, which is quite a long time when you get downed and you're sort of hoping that the guy who just dropped you gets distracted with someone else before he kills you. It's worth trying to finish off an enemy because that'll give you an extra 50 XP, and it all adds up in the end as you go along. To all these levels, because some of the levels were quite ridiculous, man. That guy somehow missed me, and I managed to drop him, but then this champion, who just wields a huge two-handed axe, just finishes me off. But once again, I get rezzed. Well-coordinated teams, I think, do extremely well on this, where they're moving together as a unit, they're picking on one target, they're bringing them down, and then one will finish them off, the other one will shield. And they move on like that, and you can tell when there's a well-coordinated team running in this game compared to just a group of random players, because you get steamrolled. You don't stand much of a chance when you come up against a squad of 6 organised clan guys, which I experienced a couple of days back. And this one, I got stuck behind here, just trying to move up, and I got finished. But yeah, the team's still pushing, still by the tavern, having a look around. The sound effects I quite like. The gameplay is a lot different from the predecessor War of the Roses, which was probably a more, I don't know, it was a more item-based affair. There were certain weapons that were always better than the others. You were never going to stick with a one-handed weapon when you could have a two-handed Claymore, for instance. The Claymore always had better stats and a higher chance of killing, whereas in this game, weapons are purely cosmetic. Having better weapons shows that you've leveled up a lot more and you've earned far more gold than anyone else, but it doesn't mean that you have some innate advantage over that other player. There are no special shields, there are no special bows, there's no special ammunition. If I hit a guy with a flaming arrow, it doesn't do extra damage, for instance. It doesn't set him on fire. It sets his shield on fire, which gives a higher chance for his shield to break, but that's it. I like this approach, personally. I think it brings a lot more balance and it's more skill based, whereas War of the Roses was more about leveling up, earning gold, and getting the most powerful equipment as quickly as possible, and then the game just boiling down to using the same set of armor, the same set of weapons, and matches will just evolve into a mob. This, at least, relies on the players being in the right position, moving at the right time, swinging at the right time, blocking when appropriate, not charging off ahead, and not hoping to be the first into the fray because they've got some special weapon. It gets teams all over the place in this part of the map. It's quite open, you see we have to fight right up this hill. And you gotta be careful, there are environmental hazards. If water's too deep, that's it, you die instantly. It can all too easily happen. Fighting, it bogs down for quite a while here, just a bit of to and fro. But again, that's good in this game type. You don't want the matches to be over too quickly because then everyone can have a better chance of earning gold and experience. I just ranked up there to rank 12. This guy wants me to heal him, and this is something I was surprised about, because you don't get any XP for being healed by another player. It's only the person who does the healing gets the XP. I was actually expecting more players to sort of ward off people telling them to back off from healing them because, you know, they're giving away XP, but you know, some players are quite happy to let you heal them so they can get back in the fight. It does remind me a bit of my old World in Conflict days, where players did not want to work as a team because of the XP bonuses. But that's a whole other story. You can see how that...
They're capturing the tavern.
Down I go. Down
it.
Floating on a hay bale, and this guy just comes out of nowhere, and he does a special attack. I guess he was just... maybe he was just panicking or something. Special attacks. Yeah, they're special maneuvers that are performed with any melee weapon, and generally if you hit flush, it's an instant kill. There's like a strong thrust with a one-handed sword, there's a big overhead shot with an axe, one-handed axes do a kind of forward step 360 swing which can cleave heads off. It's a really nice effect when it works, but I feel the axes are the toughest one to get right. At this point you can actually see we're starting to push up, we're starting to cap at last, we're getting to this final point. I run up there, get behind these buildings, move up with the other skirmisher. Obviously a team of all skirmishers is not winning. You need at least 2 or 3 to really back you up. I get a bit of a melee tussle here. This guy, as you can see, that guy's shield is on fire, which I hit with the arrow, which prevented him from blocking as often with his shield, but I managed to get him. A rare kill. And in a minute we win. Overall, yeah, I'm going to play a bit more of this. I intend on putting at least one more video up for the Vikings to do with the melee classes, the warrior and the champion. They're not too dissimilar from each other. That I don't think they warrant separate videos. Yeah, I think it for a budget title, £15 on Steam is more than adequate. It's a decent little game. If you like this kind of genre, you're really going to enjoy it. I think it'd be great for clan battles. The maps are varied, and the game looks gorgeous. Can't fault it graphically. It's going to be one of those titles that it's going to be a slow burn. There's going to be a small, tight-knit community who are going to keep playing this. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you around, hopefully, for another